What's the smartest revenge you've ever seen? He called himself Jonathan, and he was the perfect gentleman. He came to my father's door with a clipboard and a warm smile representing a charity for wounded veterans. My dad, a veteran himself, opened his heart and his checkbook. Over 6 months, Jonathan became a friend. He'd bring groceries, listen to my dad's war stories. He also systematically drained every penny of his life savings, nearly $100,000. By the time we realized what was happening, the charity was gone, the phone number disconnected. The police said it was a ghost chase. The money was lost. I watched my father, a proud, strong man, crumble. The shame was eating him alive. I couldn't get his money back, but I could get revenge. I couldn't go to the police, so I decided to become a ghost myself. I hired a private investigator with my own money, not to find Jonathan, but to learn him. I wanted to know everything about him, where he ate, where he shopped, what he drank. I needed to understand his habits, his vanities, his weaknesses. The Pies report was a portrait of a man who loved the illusion of wealth. He wore expensive watches, ate at fancy restaurants, and bragged to anyone who would listen about his investments. His greatest weakness was greed and a desperate need to appear smarter than everyone else. He was the perfect mark. My plan was to build a better trap. I created a fake identity, a wealthy, reclusive investor named Silas. I built a slick website for a fake investment firm, Apex Global Ventures, specializing in high-risk, high-reward biotech startups. It was all smoke and mirrors, but it looked legitimate. The next step was baiting the hook. I learned Jonathan was a regular at a high-end steakhouse. I went there every night for a week, sitting at the bar, dressed in a tailored suit. I talked loudly on my phone about massive profits and disruptive technologies. I made sure he could overhear me. On the third night, he took the bait. He introduced himself. I was dismissive, aloof. I played the part of someone who didn't need his money. This, of course, made him want it more than ever. I let him convince me to tell him about Apex Global. I showed him my fake portfolio, the doctored charts showing exponential growth. I told him it was an exclusive fund, invitation only. He was practically begging to invest. I let him stew for a week before I reluctantly agreed to let him in on a sure thing, a new company called Neurolumen. I told him it was a revolutionary brain mapping technology about to be bought out by a major tech giant. I told him the initial investment was capped at $100,000, exactly the amount he had stolen from my father. He didn't even hesitate. He wired the full amount to the offshore account I had set up. For 2 weeks, I sent him fake updates, charts showing his investment doubling, then tripling. He was ecstatic, already planning how to spend his new fortune. Then, on a Friday afternoon, I executed the final phase. I took the Apex Global website offline. The phone number was disconnected. The offshore account was emptied and closed. I had funneled his money through a dozen anonymous crypto wallets until it was untraceable. He would never see it again. I imagine his panic, the slow dawning horror as he realized he had been played. He couldn't go to the police. How would he explain where he got the $100,000 in cash? He had been conned by a ghost, just like my father. I sent my dad an anonymous cashier's check for the full amount Jonathan had stolen. The memo line just said, "A debt repaid." He never knew where it came from, but I saw the light come back into his eyes. Jonathan lost everything. I know because the Pies sent me one last photo, a picture of him being evicted from his luxury apartment.